The prelude to the campaign of the 49th Fighter Group covers some of the darkest days of the Pacific War: the fall of Singapore on the 15th of February, the bombing of Darwin on the 19th of February, during which the Japanese shot down 9 of the 10 P-40s of Major Floyd Pell's 33rd Pursuit Squadron, and the sinking of the USS Langley on the 27th of February, taking with it 32 P-40s and 33 pilots from the United States Army Air Force's 13th Pursuit Squadron. With the Netherlands, East Indies, and Philippines lost, American reinforcements, including 3 United States Army Air Forces fighter groups, 2 with the Bell P-39 and 1 with the Curtiss P-40E, were reconstituting in Australia. In March, the most advanced group, the 49th Fighter Group, commenced its move to the top end, where U.S. and Australian units were feverishly constructing airfields and associated facilities. By April, the 49th, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Paul Wurtsmith, was in situ with its 3 squadrons, the 9th, 8th, and 7th, located at Livingston, Strauss, and Batchelor, respectively. Wurtsmith was a career officer, specializing in pursuit operations. He was a graduate of the United States Army Air Corps Tactical School, with 4,800 flying hours. His executive officer, Major Don Hutchinson, was another pursuit specialist with 2,500 flying hours. The 49th Fighter Group was fortunate to have such experienced leaders, plus a handful of veterans from the Philippines campaign. But that only masked the inexperience of the group, as out of its initial strength of 102 pilots, 95 had never flown the P-40 before. Supported by the RAAF No. 5 Fighter Sector, with its radars at Dripstone Caves and Point Charles, and with the sector now including personnel from the United States Army Air Force's 49th Fighter Interception Squadron, the 49th 60 P-40s provided Darwin with its only fighter defense from March to September 1942, against a threat mainly comprising fast and well-armed Mitsubishi G4M Betty bombers, escorted by Mitsubishi A6M Zero fighters. Darwin's 3.7-inch anti-aircraft artillery forced the G4Ms to ingress at high levels, generally between 25,000 to 27,000 feet. Such a high ingress altitude sorely tested the P-40E fighters, as their Allison V-1710 engines suffered from an inadequate mechanically driven supercharger. The Allison, while rugged and reliable, lost considerable power at the higher altitudes, with the operational ceiling of the P-40E limited to around 27,000 to 28,000 feet. With time to height and operational ceiling limitations, Wurtsmith scrambled his squadrons in small maneuverable formations of 4 aircraft, with each flight leader listening to the No. 5 Fighter Sector broadcast. This ensured each raid was subject to multiple interceptions by flights of P-40s, which effectively tied the escorting Zeros to the bomber formation to ensure unchallenged flights of P-40s did not slip through to engage the G4Ms. But with the intercepting P-40s unable to climb above the Zeros, Wurtsmith's pilots remained at a tactical disadvantage as the escorting Zeros invariably dived down upon them. Acknowledging the threat posed by the higher and more maneuverable Zeros, Wurtsmith exhorted his pilots to avoid dogfighting and immediately disengage. Over the period March to August 1942, Japanese records reveal 19 Japanese aircraft were lost in the raids on Darwin. Losses comprised 1 reconnaissance aircraft, 7 fighters, and 12 bombers, plus several more damaged. In turn, the 49th Fighter Group lost 19 fighters, including 4 pilots, with another 8 pilots lost in non-combat related accidents. Given the limitations of the P-40E as a high-altitude interceptor and the low experience level of the bulk of the United States Army Air Force's pilots, the 49th Fighter Group can rightly claim to have done its job well. But in August, with the Japanese diverting their air forces to the Guadalcanal campaign, the Darwin campaign tailed off, and the 49th Fighter Group commenced their move to Papua and New Guinea. The air defense of Darwin was passed to No. 77 Squadron, which moved to Batchelor in August, and No. 76 Squadron, which, having returned from Milne Bay, moved to Strauss in October. As for Paul Wurtsmith, he continued to serve with distinction in the Southwest Pacific. As a brigadier general, he commanded V Fighter Command in 5th Air Force, and then as a major general commanded 13th Air Force. His contribution, and that of the United States Army Air Force's 49th Fighter Group and supporting units, deserve far greater recognition than they have received.